I remember not that long ago, we were thinking like, oh god, we need to come up with like episodes for the near future, especially for like visual media, because for like books and comics, there's endless things that we can do. But visual media is a little harder, especially when you don't want to constantly like retread old things that we like. I don't think it's worth doing like say like a full original or prequel trilogy like rewatch to be like, oh to say things that people have said about Star Wars a million times.
Sure, yeah, absolutely.
As fans, because there's like. If you were like say showing it to someone new, like that's worth making content about because they might have new insights, or it's always fun to like hear someone talk about these things for the first time.
But us, we've seen the films casually dozens, if not hundreds of times.
So many times. So when there's new stuff coming out, it's like, oh, we're covered. We're covered for the foreseeable. We've got Mandalorian and Grogu coming out. That'll probably be our next episode, actually. Is that finishing, or is Maul Shadowlord finishing first?
I have no clue.
Is that coming out? I want to. Shadowlord starts soon.
It starts
in April.
Yes.
And this might be coming out in April. This episode's probably coming out in April. But Maul Shadowlord starts in April, and it's doing like the 2 episodes a week. And then Mando and Grogu comes out like right around the same time Shadowlord finishes. Our next episode is either that or Mando and Grogu. So either way, it's going to be a while till we have our episode on Survivor out. So, we have a hot minute to talk about Jedi Battle Scars. Transition. Yes, we read Jedi Battle Scars by Sam Maggs, and I'm fascinated to talk about this book. First off, because of course you haven't seen our previous episodes, we did talk about Jedi Fallen Order, because we played that for the first time.
Yes.
And we read Jedi Dark Temple last time as well. Or, sorry. That was before the Jedi label was like a brand within Star Wars. So the full name of that comic is Star Wars Jedi: Fallen Order: Dark Temple. End of title. By Matthew Rosenberg.
That was a long title for a just okay comic.
This one, nice and succinct. Star Wars: Jedi: Battle Scars by Sam Maggs. Done. Still a lot of colons, but
it's a title within a title.
Yeah. But again, like Jedi has become like the brand for the Cal Kestis saga, which is weird because Jedi is just a thing.
Right?
I get why it's called that. Although, wait a second. When Jedi Fallen Order was first made, was it called Jedi Fallen Order, like as in the Fallen Jedi Order?
Or is it Jedi?
Or was it called Jedi: Fallen Order? Did they plan on this expanding this much? I don't know.
I would bet initially probably not.
Was it called... I don't know now. Unrelated to all this.
Actually not that unrelated.
Not unrelated at all, actually. That's a lie. We read Jedi Battle Scars by Sam Maggs. So... let's talk about this. Spoilers, of course, as are all of our episodes of R2-BD. We're going to be talking full spoilers for this book. So let's hop in. So this is taking place within the amorphous 3 years between Fallen Order and Survivor.
It sounds like it might be towards the latter end of that.
It does seem
because
that
there's
way.
a couple references to a couple years past. I know Cal has some facial hair in the second game.
Yes, he has facial hair in Survivor. I know that.
And in this book, he kind of laments that he's got like a baby face still.
Yeah. Oh, I think at one point they say a year. They've been doing things like this for like a year. But also, I think the implication is that their time with Fret might be a little longer than the book implies. Like, Fret might have been with the crew for a little longer than we actually see.
A couple weeks, for sure. We're definitely... cutting around some travel time.
So there's some time jumping like within the book itself. So in the 3 years in between, this is like somewhere between a year and 2 years because we're passing time. Time passes crazy, I know.
Right?
But no, this one is like I do like that this book, and this is gonna be us saying a lot about. We're gonna talk a lot about Sam Maggs and her relationship to the Jedi games in this. But I think it goes to like. This book goes a long way to like settle into making the reader feel very familiar in this setting and really letting you like live with the characters for a little bit.
Oh, sure.
And letting that time pass is a byproduct of that. So I really enjoy that. I did do some reading on the creation of this book, and this all sort of came from Sam Maggs apparently like finishing Fallen Order and being like, that was great. Marin's barely in it. There should be more of her.
We said... if I recall, the exact same thing.
Exactly. Marin has the potential for a great character in Fallen Order. I'm sure she gets expanded on a lot in Survivor. But Sam Maggs was essentially just like, if I ever get the chance, I'm writing a whole ass Marin book. I'm going to take that chance and
she
run
does
with it.
carry a lot of the chapters. Now that I really think about it,
I mean, I would dare say Marin's the main character of this book.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if not, I mean, Cal Kestis himself, I guess, is a contender. But
I would say, like, from a narrative standpoint, they're both the main character. Like, they're both the leads.
Mm-hmm. But no, I think like this is very much a book focused on expanding on Marin as a character, and trying to do a lot with her. I really appreciate that, and also I really appreciate just. When did we talk about this? Did we ever talk about this on an episode, or was this just in a private conversation?
Well, what is it?
Gay rights in Star Wars.
Odds are we probably mentioned it, but we definitely had an extended conversation outside of R2-BD about
There's
this.
always this thing that happens with Star Wars where, like, shows and movies, especially movies, are very heteronormative. And that's, Star Wars was made in the 70s and the 80s. The prequel trilogy isn't exactly going to break new ground for for focusing on a group of characters that can't fall in love. So,
especially when also the subplot for the prequels is we need to make very specific things happen.
Yeah. So, like, I'm never going to get mad at, like, Star Wars back in the day ever being heteronormative, because there's just not much you can actually do about that. But when it comes to even, like, say, like, the sequel trilogy or Star Wars shows that we have coming out, there's not a lot of LGBTQ plus representation. And often those relationships are given to the expanded universe, the books and the comics and all that.
So there's so much of that in the books and comics.
Yes, exactly. And it's awesome. It's great to see. High Republic stays winning.
High Republic is the gold standard.
High Republic and Dr. Aphra stay winning. So those are great. But you would think, like, maybe perhaps when it comes to like, say, the video games, which kind of lie in this middle ground of, like, oh, is it mainstream Star Wars? Because not everyone plays video games. It's not a show or a movie that people could just sit down and just watch.
Yeah.
It's also not quite expanded universe, because video games do hit a massive market. Star Wars games are going to sell especially well, because it's got that massive IP attached to it. So how heteronormative does a video game like Jedi Fallen Order and I suppose eventually Survivor have to be? The answer is apparently a lot. Or at the very least, we're not really going to comment on relationships, at least where we're at in the series for Fallen Order. That may change in Survivor. We don't know yet. We haven't played it.
Yeah.
But when it comes to this book, I don't know. I always appreciate representation, but representation, especially for a character that does toe that line between expanded universe and mainstream Star Wars, like Marin, because she's a major character in Fallen Order.
Yeah.
And we can take that character and say a little bit more about her. I do think because of the way Cal has always been characterized as kind of having a thing for Marin, I do think the games will just eventually settle on Marin's probably, like, bi or something.
The book seems to settle on that opinion.
Yeah. But as far as the relationship portrayed in this book, we have a very positive lesbian relationship between Marin and our new character here, Fret,
and an implied healthy one that ends in death? Question mark.
Well, neither of them die.
No, in Marin's past.
Oh yes, yeah. I mean, I just assume all Nightsisters are lesbians until proven otherwise.
That seems like a fair assumption, honestly.
Like, truly, you don't grow up in that society and love men. You don't.
Especially when you literally see them as beneath you.
Yeah. Dathomir stays winning, man. But no, I love. Sam Maggs is a lesbian herself. No surprise.
Yeah, shocker there.
And as such is able to speak with a lot of clarity on this issue. And I really appreciate that. I like the idea of this character, Fret. I like this ex-Imperial, quote-unquote, ex-Imperial, that finds herself aboard the crew of the Mantis, and finds herself romantically involved with Marin. There's a fantastic implication that Marin and Fret fuck on Cal's bed.
It's almost not an implication.
Yeah.
It is so close to just being said.
It's just there. And Cal's the biggest dumbass. Cal's like, I wonder where they went. My door is locked. I didn't lock my door.
There's even a giant green flame I could see under it.
Amazing. Truly amazing.
I love that bit, because, like, he knows Marin's in there, because that's where she's been for, like, personal character growth reasons.
Yeah.
He's looking for Fret. Fret's nowhere to be seen. This ship has, like, 5 rooms.
Yeah. It's not a big ship. I've traveled the entire thing. I know what it looks like.
This ship isn't very large, and my door's locked.
This floor is made of floor. Yeah, no.
I feel bad for psychometry.
I was gonna say, this poor guy. This poor guy getting force echoes from his own room. Oh god, truly funny. It does lead to the spoilers. Although we did give a spoiler warning earlier.
Yeah. Double spoilers, I suppose.
Fret is actually still technically Imperial. But there is that interesting line that Mags is towing with Cal's inner monologue of not trusting Fret, but clearly coming from a place of just jealousy.
It's absolutely just jealousy.
Yeah. It's a little catty. It's not quite a love triangle. It's towing on that. But I mean, truly, Marin doesn't even know that Cal is romantically interested in her.
No, totally oblivious.
Yeah,
Cal is seemingly oblivious to his own feelings. Understand. I should say he's oblivious to his understanding of them.
Yeah. I did learn also in reading up on this book that a lot of people just don't like it. I'm not quite sure why. These are Star Wars fans we're talking about. Is it possibly the representation in it? Maybe.
Yeah,
I could certainly see it.
I'm gonna say it's probably about the representation, unfortunately.
Yeah,
because we've seen that in the past.
Yeah, certainly. But yeah, no, I there's just a really positive lesbian relationship in this book, and it's fucking great. It's portrayed really well because you have the perspective of a lesbian writer taking on what could be in the hands of a lesser writer. I'm not saying heterosexual writers are lesser, obviously. I'm not saying that. Don't misconstrue my words.
A writer with a lesser handle on the situation.
Exactly. And without the personal experience
to
back that up. So that, I don't know, I think it's done really well. As far as the rest of the book, I also like our Jedi game shenanigans. On Sam Maggs, who clearly loves these games, loves describing the things you can do in the game.
Oh, they are... the game mechanic to narrative transition is so well done.
Yeah.
My god.
Yeah, you could so perfectly picture all the moves that Cal is making. The way it so perfectly captures the feel of the games.
My favorite examples, I have three, and there are the three big examples that she goes with. Fight choreography, how it feels, it feels to be him, to be Cal Kestis.
Yeah.
Super well done. The traveling between narrow spaces.
Yep.
That is such a great way to do that.
Oh yeah.
And then every time he gets a stim.
Yes, yeah, exactly. Yes, they do that as well, which is such a stupid thing to want to narratively translate to something that isn't a video game. But they do, and Sam Maggs fucking brilliantly does it. She's awesome.
My favorite part is when he actually ran out of stims.
Yeah,
that happened.
Yeah,
it is so well done.
Yeah, very very cool.
The mechanics and narrative transition, not one of the best parts, but it's so well done. It really hit me every time. It was done really well.
Yeah, exactly.
She even waits a little while before settling in on a lightsaber color.
Yeah, to just be like, look, the players can choose their lightsaber color. I'm not going to specify a lightsaber color, despite the fact that the cover very clearly shows a blue lightsaber. But that's the Cal Kestis look. That's fine. I'm okay with that. I'm fully ready to lose all of my lightsaber upgrades when I start Survivor.
I know.
I'm assuming that happens. I could be wrong.
To.
I would assume so. We need to power scale somehow.
Right.
But no, but even right down to the way the book opens, tossing you into what feels like a Jedi Fallen Order action sequence, fighting the Haxian Brood. I learned the name of the Haxian Brood. I didn't know that's what they were called. I know that now.
I know that now. It's the one thing that was totally. It's the one plot point from the game where what the shit was this even?
Yeah. They're the fighting pit guys.
Yeah.
that Grease knew.
And now I'm probably never gonna forget the Haxian Brood.
Yeah, because they're in a lot of this, and they're working with the Empire no less, which is really really interesting. I like that a lot. But other things I like in this that make this fight feel somewhat video gamey that I really enjoy is Marin's sort of struggle with her powers and controlling them and having them still. Her separation from Dathomir has affected her ability to cast her spells, to use her magic. Yeah, exactly. We even get a nice little massacre flashback to the Clone Wars in there, which is very cool.
Yeah, that was really nice.
I enjoy that description. But also, wasn't the implication in Fallen Order that she was misled to believe the Jedi caused the massacre.
Yes.
She openly sees Grievous in the flashback, doesn't she?
Yeah, but I think the implication now through hindsight and through some character growth and knowledge is that in Fallen Order, it was believed that the Jedi had sent Grievous because he had all Jedi lightsabers; they weren't red.
Yeah, yeah.
And now through some clarification, it makes more sense that everyone was misled.
Yes, okay, that is fair. Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, no, that's very fun. Also on things from Fallen Order that I really like, I like seeing Inquisitors again, as the cover will show you. We have the fifth brother here from Rebels, which is very cool.
Yeah, that was very cool.
Yeah, I guess Rebel, and he's in the Obi-Wan show as well. He never showed up in Fallen Order, right? He never...
No, I don't think so.
We never saw him. It was only over whatever the bigger sister lady was.
Yeah.
Can't think of which sister she was now. I don't feel like looking through my notes.
But yes.
Yeah. But no, we have the fifth brother here. He's very fun to have around. It makes a nice, recognizable face, a recognizable villain. One that we can't actually do anything about. It kind of gives that almost Darth Vader-like edge, because we know where that character goes eventually. We can't actually, kill him in this way. So it's cool. It adds that edge, even though you know... See, there's this interesting thing that, can happen in prequel storytelling, where you know two characters have to survive, and yet they are put at odds with each other, and they need they both want to kill each other, and it can create this interesting. I know people like to say oh well, because we know they're both going to survive, it doesn't matter. But to me, that makes a more interesting dynamic in my brain. So I'm like, wait, no, now I need to figure out how do we
both survive this?
How do they both get out of this? Yeah,
a great example is the Vader chase sequence.
Yeah. In Fallen Order. Yeah.
Exactly. That's a great example of how you do it, because you can't attack Vader. Vader has no health bar.
Yeah.
Your only option is to run.
Yeah, yeah.
And that chase sequence can still be dynamic because you need to escape.
Yeah. I love that. I mean, that's my favorite sequence of the whole first game.
This book kind of does the same thing with the final fight.
It does, yeah. Very cool stuff. I really enjoy that. But a lot of the plot of this book revolves around a thing called the Shroud. It is a cloaking device. I do wonder what we're dealing with cloaking technology, and especially important cloaking technology in Star Wars. It just all kind of goes back to that one episode of Clone Wars that I really enjoyed.
Yeah.
In my brain, it's always going back to that, because I'm like, man, that is just... I know they threw it in there as a little reference to Empire Strikes Back, of being like, oh, yeah, no shit, that small has a cloaking device, and just being like, no, they figured it out 20 years ago, man.
Of course, in that episode, it's experimental. You can't even see through sensors what's happening around your own ship in that episode.
Yeah. But it always makes for a fun thing in my brain, just being like, wait, no. Again, they figured this out, I guess in this book's case, 5 years ago.
God, yeah.
Yeah. But no, they're after this inventor named Irie. He created the Shroud, and they're after the sort of the plans for this. All working for this guy named, what was his name?
He was a big bird. I don't remember his name.
Damn it. I know I wrote it down somewhere. Karis. Because we're going to have Karis from Doctor Who.
Ooh, that's fair.
But no, Karis, who wants this cloaking technology, and we learn. I do like the twist on it being that no, there are no there's no Death Star plans to this. These aren't physical things that we can chase after. We're going after the inventor who knows how to make the device.
Right. The plans aren't on a thing. They are the thing.
Yeah.
It hasn't even been built yet, actually. It's all theoretical.
Yeah. And in the midst of all this, we have a really interesting twist on the relationship between Marin and Fret, because Fret and Irie have a thing in the past.
Yeah.
And that sort of flame is reignited when they see each other again, and creates conflict all around. There's a really great it's a bit of a shorter book, so it can't fully go into as much nuance as one might like, but there's a lot of depth there. I think you have there's this constant feeling of divided loyalties, of say Cal looking out for his friends, but also being being onto Fret because he's actually just jealous of her.
Oh yeah, totally just jealous.
There's Fret being loyal to the Empire, but also Irie is there, and there's this want to run away with him. There's Marin, who's torn between once again the Mantis crew and Fret. This constant idea of just these characters
there's even that with Grease of wanting to just live.
Yeah, exactly.
And the Mantis crew.
Yeah. Grease and Seer are not a huge part of this book, but they do make an impact. I do really like
They do also run a chapter or two for themselves. Grease probably had the more interesting chapters when it wasn't Cal or Marin.
Yeah, that's fair. I mean, I really love where Seer's emotional arc takes her in that moment where she tries to save the fifth brother as this sort of like, just being like she knows what an Inquisitor is. Her apprentice was an Inquisitor, and just being like, look, she has to like, there's this moral obligation in her brain that she has to try to save this guy. She doesn't know this guy. She doesn't know the fifth brother personally. No. She doesn't know what would help. At least she had an actual chance at saving Trilla. But I love that Seer's innate humanity in her just makes it such she has to, if she doesn't try, she's going to feel like she failed somehow. She has no obligation to this guy. She doesn't have to do it. It's a great
that moment comes at a very interesting cost to Grease.
Yes.
He loses most of an arm.
He loses a full arm. He loses a whole arm. He's got 4 of them. He loses a whole arm. It's I'm guessing that'll be really interesting. I'm sure it'll just be, look, in my brain,
I had the same thought if I would know where you're going with this.
In my brain, I'm like, I'm reading all the expanded stuff. It's going to be really important when they do Survivor, but I know how Survivor is actually going to be. It's going to be Grease has, I'm sure, a robotic arm. Or something. He's
got a robotic arm,
and they're going to be all like, oh yeah, since we had that run-in with that Inquisitor there, and
that Stormtrooper.
Yeah, it's just going to be some like throwaway dialogue as you're traveling to a planet. I know it's going to be really stupid, but I'm going to feel really rewarded for taking the time to read this book. I know that, I'm sure that's all it's gonna be. I'm sure it's gonna, and they're gonna be like a little jab of being like, yeah, and it's your fault, Seer. And Seer's like, I was trying to help someone, you know.
It'll be that dialogue that's when you're flying.
Yeah, when you're fast traveling to a planet, like, or rather slow traveling is the Jedi games. I'm assuming Survivor is the same way. I could be wrong. I haven't played it.
Yeah, we don't know.
Yeah, we'll get there. Also, on the video gaming aspects of this, Marin, I love the raising the dead to help the dead prisoners to help fight the fifth brother.
Yeah, that was sick.
Oh, that was sick. I loved that. That was awesome. Very video gamey because that's literally something that Marin does in the first game.
And she calls that out too.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I really love that. There's also, I mean, I just have a note here that says like the idea of the Mantis crew like being like really fractured after that whole encounter where Grease loses his arm and everything, but just like. There's a very meticulous passage of time at that point in the book that I really, really enjoy, where you really grapple with where all of our characters are at emotionally and how they all like kind of like it's not even a problem solved by like putting their differences aside. They need to openly talk about this and openly work through it. And I really like that. I mean, Fred has also like fully like rejoined them at this point, you know, as like no divided loyalties, like her and Irie are helping them now at this point. They make this sort of like fake shroud to try to give to Karis because he's the secret bad guy of the book.
Mm-hmm. No, shocker, I know. It's not like Grease called this out 7 chapters ago.
Yeah. Oh god. Wait, hang on.
Go ahead.
I have a note here that literally says, "One last fuck to give." And I'm sure Pat Lee was really proud of that. Reading it out loud now, it's a little embarrassing. But Marin and Fred do fuck one last time, and it's pretty great. Sorry about that, listeners. Anyway, Marin, through all this, still can't see that Cal likes her, which is fucking hilarious.
Even after Fred's like, listen, I didn't want
Fred calls it out.
It's like, I didn't want to step on what you and Cal got going on.
Yeah.
And Marin's like, I don't know what you talk about.
Yeah. Yeah. Just big dumb moment.
On both Cal and Marin.
Yep. Huge dumbs. Karis is killed by the fifth brother. We get this great narrow escape where we escape the fifth brother. It's very reminiscent of the Vader sequence. I'm sure Sam Maggs had that in mind the entire time. Very cool stuff. We do then get zombie Karis as well, which is so fucking cool.
That was really dope, yeah.
And also one other thing I did know about Survivor, in addition to Cal's beard, I know he has a scar on his face or something.
Oh, does he? I didn't know that.
And that's they write that into this book. He gets the scar at the end. I think it's like across his like cheek there. I remember seeing promotional art for the second game, and I think it's on the cover. They show the side of his face like with a scar on it.
Interesting.
Yeah. So I guess those are the real battle scars we made along the way. But I do really like that like the Fred Irie plot doesn't end in like this horrible antagonism between her and the Mantis crew. Like Like, Fret does end up actually changing her ways in the end and leaving with Irie. And they do actually get a nice ending.
Like, they're going to go on their own ship. They offer Marin to go with them.
Yeah.
And she thinks about it.
Yeah.
But she ultimately decides, unless the status quo is changed by the start of the next game, to stay with the Mantis crew.
Yeah, of course. And I don't think any of that was going to happen. I mean, truth be told, more big swings were taken with this book than I had anticipated. I truly thought that this was just going to be like an in-between little book, and because you can't really fuck with what I'm sure EA already had going on with Survivor at the time. You know, they were already in full development. I'm sure there was a script written already, and Sam Maggs was tasked with writing something to fill the gap in between.
Probably Greaves having a robot arm.
Yep.
Cal having a scar.
Yeah. And also just while she's at it, Sam Maggs can write her Dream Marin character development book, and it's really good. It works really well. I don't know. I really enjoyed this. I had a great time with Battle.
It was a good book.
Yeah, I greatly enjoyed it. I'm obviously looking forward to where we're going with Survivor, but I think like this is a truly meaningful chapter of this story. Even if I'm sure it will have very little, if anything at all, to do with Survivor itself. I don't know. I just felt like I feel like I'm glad there's this extra chapter here to understand where everyone's at and to check in with all of them and see how they work just kind of casually as a crew. There's always this implication of other jobs that they've done in between, but we're getting to see one of those jobs. We're getting to see two of those jobs, really.
I think it's also helpful because we're not doing this in a video game. We're doing this in a straightforward narrative where everything actually goes from A to B to C to D.
Yeah.
We can control what would be the game, the player. In this case, it's the viewer, the reader.
Yeah,
we can control what they see.
Yeah,
we can tell a much more narrative structured story.
Every beat is going to hit exactly as it's supposed to.
Yeah,
because it's not going to happen, because they would happen occasionally in Fallen Order where like a major moment would like blindside us because we were like just fucking around exploring, and then it would be like, oh cool, major moment is happening now, pay attention, and it probably wouldn't hit the exact same way as it was supposed to. But you know, in a book like this, you have more narrative control, and Maggs really does take full control of that and uses that opportunity to her advantage. So yeah, that was Battle Scars, and honestly a good book. I don't know what the fuck you're all on about. This was good. You're all weird and possibly homophobic. I don't know. But yeah, for those watching / listening, we already did talk at the start of the episode about what's coming up next on the show. We're gonna take some time, I guess, away from the Jedi saga, at least for now. Yeah. We'll probably be playing Survivor throughout this entire time.
Yeah. But mostly the actual video will be a little later, probably.
Yeah, the video will probably be out in, I already guess, probably like June or something like that.
I'm sure we'll have an actual ballpark sooner or later.
Yeah. But in the meantime, we'll be covering other current Star Wars things coming out. We've got Mandalorian and Grogu. We've got Maul Shadow Lord coming out like right back to back. I don't know what episode we'll have out first.
I think that kind of depends on what we ended up actually finishing and getting around to recording.
It'll probably be Maul first, realistically. I think I'll have to look at release dates again.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure Maul will be first.
It's one of those two,
but I'm pretty sure it's that. All that is to say, I'm very much looking forward to what we have coming up on R2-BD. We have, Maul Shadow Lord, Mandalorian and Grogu. We've got Jedi Survivor after that, and then we'll get back into some books. So very excited to get into all of that, and we hope you are excited, as excited as we are. But I guess in the meantime, thank you all so much for watching. If you enjoyed this, be sure to check out our Patreon, patreon.com/BloodDonut and get all kinds of fun things there, like early Star Trek reviews, exclusive Star Trek commentaries, fresh face extras, bad movie commentaries, and if you're not into any of that, although there is so much you can get on there, there's a $1 general support tier. It's the cadet tier. All that'll happen is it'll get your name down in the description of every video we put out. People will see your name down there, see you're a cool person, and they'll want to be a cool person too, and they will join the Patreon. That is exactly how it goes. I have it on good authority. Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to join us next time. Until then, this has been Joey Morgan.
Jacob.
Goodbye.